Good morning, beloveds. I've not been outside this morning. I've not been awake for that long. It is fast coming up on the days that I will not sleep in quite as much on Sundays. But, all right. It could be a stormy day or it may not be. We'll see. We're going to have a great service for you at 11, but before we do that, we are doing 365 Days of Richer Living, and it is June 27th. My selection determines my experience. And our Emerson quote is, "There is one mind, and all the powers and privileges which lie in any lie in all. And I, as a man, may claim and appropriate whatever is true or fair or good or strong has anywhere been exhibited." All right. Emerson's weird. The universe is a spiritual system, and it gives to all men alike. God in his creation knows no great nor small. It knows me only as an outlet of its ideas and its love. To me is given all the power in mind and in control of matter. My authority is from on high, and the material thought of man cannot negate it. I stand in control of my experience. As my thinking determines my control of situations, I now assume my divine prerogative and think only of the things I desire. No evil can withstand my determined spiritual meditation. The gates of hell may open, but the windows of heaven shall still outpour me a blessing, and triumph will always be mine. In the one mind, I am an unlimited action of intelligence, power, and love. This is my birthright. This is the divine legacy, This is the divine legitimacy. This is the divine legitimacy of my being. To this end I was created. For this cause I have come into the world. I bear witness to the perfect life, complete wisdom, and ever unfolding possibilities of greatness. I remain forever unconditioned and free. My selection of truth now determines my determination of health, my demonstration of health, peace, and prosperity. Knowing only God and his permanent goodness, I can select only that which will unfold my capabilities and enlarge my usefulness. Today, I definitely do this. I refuse to believe in evil, to experience it, or to speculate upon its possibility. All the sense testimony that can be arrayed in favor of evil is a useless argument. I have set my eyes on the good. I have established heaven in my consciousness, and there is no power in darkness and ignorance. The light of life is mine, and in me it illuminates my mind and maintains my faith. God alone is my beginning, continuity, and conclusion. Love alone is my outer experience, and prosperity pours into my experience in profusion. I have selected that which will endure, and God giveth the increase. Okay. Outside of, there's literally a word in there that I don't know. There was a line in here that I just thought was amazing. Well, okay. My authority is from on high, and the material thought of man cannot negate it. I stand in control of my experience. I stand in control of my experience. Sometimes when we are in situations, that's the only control we have, is how we feel about a situation. And that comes with being in relationship with other beings. And that's where we start. Sometimes We start. The only thing I have control over is my experience of what is going on in the world. I can control the way I feel about it. And if I don't like a situation, then that's fine. Then I make different choices and move myself out of it. But while I am engaged in this situation, then how am I going to experience it? And that's where my choices lie. And so that's where I start. And the idea of not, he said something in here about experiencing evil. Well, okay, let's go with the line, no evil can, the gates of hell may open, but the windows of heaven shall still outpour me a blessing, and triumph will always be mine. The gates of hell are open, but you don't have to walk in. You do not have to walk in. All right. Let's go back through it. My selection determines my experience. Your choices determine your experience. And if you're not having experiences that you want to have, then maybe you want to go back and look at your choices and choose differently. And sometimes that's choosing the people that you're around. Sometimes that's choosing how you feel. Because you can be in a great situation and not feel great, and you're not going to have a good experience. So sometimes it's a matter of, well, I don't feel good. I'm not going to put myself in that situation because I want to enjoy it. So I'm going to do that later. Or sometimes you can feel fantastic and you walk into the situation and you're like, no. And then you can just nope out of there. Sorry, that's very nope out of there. So, because you're allowed to have days that you don't feel good. You are allowed to have days that you don't feel good. Why put yourself in situations that you're going to regret being in because you can't enjoy them? Or why put yourself in situations that you already don't feel good? Why put yourself in the situation to make you feel worse? So, choose. That is within your power, is to choose. And sometimes we're in situations that we don't have any choice other than how we feel, and we just have to get on with it. So it's like, all right, I'm going to bear this. I'm going to bear this, but I'm going to know who I am, and I'm going to know my source, and I'm going to bear it with more grace than I might have otherwise. All right, let's deal with Emerson. Emerson starts off with, there's one mind, and all the powers and privileges which lie in any mind lie in all. And I, as a man, well, I'm not a man, but he was. So I, as a person, may claim and appropriate whatever is true, whatever of true or fair or good or strong has anywhere been exhibited. So anything, any quality that has appeared in the one mind, we have access to. We have access to. It takes our willingness. It takes our acceptance. That's it. It's like, okay, this is a quality of God. You can have it, but you have to be willing and you have to accept it. So the universe is a spiritual system, and it is given to all people alike. Everyone has the same access to the one mind. Those of us who know it are going to do better because we know. And that is the point of this. And a lot of people know that they have access to it, and then they're educated out by their religion. I was raised Catholic, and they kept saying, as growing up Catholic, you can't go to God. Well, why not? Well, you have to go to the intercessors. That's why we have saints. That's why we have Mary. That's why we have Jesus. That's why we have priests. You can't go straight to God. And I was like, this is bull. I always went straight to God. Did I talk to the saints and the angels? Sure, why not? But the idea that I couldn't go straight to God didn't make sense to me, and that might go a long way to explaining why I'm not Catholic anymore. So, God, in God's creation, knows no great or small. There's no great or small. Size doesn't mean anything to God because there's nothing outside of God, so God can't judge. Okay, it knows me only as an outlet of its ideas and its love. We are outlets of God's ideas, we are outlets of God's love. If you think of yourself as anything, think of yourself as that. You are an outlet for the divine idea and you are an outlet for the divine love. What is flowing through you and to you is that divine love and those divine ideas. Up-level your idea of yourself because that's who you are. To me, to us, is given all of the power in mind and in control of matter. I was raised on science fiction. When you tell me I can control matter, I want to levitate apples. I'm not there yet. But it does mean that if I have control over matter, then I have the power to heal myself. That's a whole lot of belief. My authority is from on high, and the material thought of man cannot negate it. Who I come from means that human opinion cannot get in my way unless I let it. So who you are a beloved child of God, means that the opinions of others can't do anything to you unless you give them that power. I stand in control of my experience. You stand in control of your experience. Now, like I said, sometimes the only thing we have is to choose how we feel about a situation. But that's as good of any place to start. In the week of abundance in Heartfelt Living, one of the things we talk about is because nobody enjoys paying bills. Nobody enjoys paying bills. But if we can change our attitude and bless our bills as we pay them and understand that they are going to provide for, one, whatever it is that we're paying for, and two, salaries and things for other people, then it takes the sting out of paying the bills. And so that's what I mean by changing our experience. We might even enjoy it. There are people who do. I don't hate paying bills. I'm not going to say that I'm one of the people that enjoys it, but yeah. And that's what I did. It's like I started blessing my bills when I paid them. So I stand in control of my experience. As my thinking determines my control of situations, I now assume my divine prerogatives and think only of the things I desire. I think only of the things that I desire. Okay, so that's what we're talking about in spiritual practice. So when you go into treatment, that's it. You don't think about the opposite. You think about what you want. Forget anything that is not what you want when you are in spiritual practice. That time is that's where your focus should be. Now, the rest of the time when you're not in spiritual practice, ideally you want to focus more on what you want than what you don't. But that's when we're not in spiritual practice is when we deal with the icky stuff that we don't want to. But not in spiritual practice. In spiritual practice, go in with that idea of what it is that you want, okay? Forget anything that's not that for that period of time. Because that period of time, it's possible. All right. No evil can withstand my determined spiritual mentation. What? mentation. So I don't know. I'm going to have to look the word up. I literally do not know that word. I do not know that word, which is exciting. Because it's either a real word or they misspelled meditation. I don't know. The gates of hell may open, but the windows of heaven shall still outpour me a blessing, and a triumph will always be mine. Just because the gates of heaven, the gates of hell are open, you don't have to walk in. You absolutely do not have to walk in. In the one mind, I am an unlimited action of intelligence, power, and love. This is our birthright. This is our birthright. That unlimited action of intelligence, power, and love. Because we are made from God, we are made by God, of God's stuff. We have access to all of it. It's how big is our cup of acceptance. This is the divine legitimacy of my being. To this end, I was created, and for this cause, I have come into the world. All right? Say that to yourself. To this end, we were created, and for this cause, we have come into the world. To be unlimited action of intelligence, power, and love. To be unlimited love. I bear witness to perfect life, complete wisdom, and ever unfolding possibilities of greatness. We bear witness to it by being that. And remember, perfect means whole, not flawless. I remain forever unconditioned and free. I do not let race consciousness lean on me. My selection of truth now determines my demonstration of health, peace, and prosperity. I'm going to focus on the good. I'm going to focus on God. I'm going to focus on spirit. I'm going to focus on love. Knowing only God and God's permanent goodness, I can select only that which will unfold my capacities and enlarge my usefulness. Today, I definitely do this. Focus on the good. As Emma says, there's good in the universe and you ought to have it. I refuse to believe in evil, to experience it, or to speculate upon its possibility. Let's start there. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. That's what Jesus is talking about. It's not turn the other cheek so they can hit you on the other side. It's focus on the solutions. Focus on the love. Focus on the good. And let the rest of it go. When we have problems, that's the idea. It's like, let's not look at the problems, because looking at the problems is not going to get us anywhere. Looking at the solution will get us where we need to be. All the sense testimony that can be arrayed in favor of evil is a useless argument. That's a bold statement from Ernest and Raymond. It really is. It's like, don't believe what your senses are telling you. But you can, to the degree that there is no power of evil. There's no co-equal power of evil. Good is the only power. Evil is simply a misuse of the good. So evil in and of itself doesn't exist. So we correct the misuse of the good, and evil disappears. I have set my eyes on the good. I have established heaven in my consciousness, and there is no power in darkness and ignorance. Nope, no power in darkness and ignorance. I'm not going to focus on darkness and ignorance because there's no power in it. There is power in knowledge. There is power in good. There is power in the light. And darkness is not evil. Darkness is a place of rest. The light of life is mine, and in me it illuminates my mind and maintains my faith. God alone is my beginning, continuity, and conclusion. Love alone is my outer experience, and prosperity pours into my experience in profusion. What is it that we want? Every one of us wants to be loved and to be heard. And the truth is, God is always listening. I have selected that which will endure, and God giveth the increase. I wonder if that's a Bible quote. Anytime he says giveth, I'm like, what are you quoting from? All right. I'm a little torn on the mission today. It was up here. Our mission today. Our mission today is to stand in control of our experience. To stand in control of. Okay, so the mission today, should we choose to the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to stand in control of our experience. To understand that it is the set of our mind that determines our experience, even when the material world around us is chaos. It is the set of our mind. And the mind that we use is the one mind. And anything that we want or need is possible, already exists in that one mind. It's about being willing to accept it. So that's the mission, to stand in control of our experience. By choosing. By choosing. All right, beloveds. It is Sunday. That means that we will have an amazing service for you soon. But before that, I'm going to encourage you, as I always do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Yesterday for me, I had a spa day. I did the whole coconut oil in my hair and did the face mask, which it was a new one and it was weird, but it felt really good because it had peppermint in it. And then I got myself into the shower and did the scrubs, and I had this amazing sugar scrub that I buy at Renaissance festivals. It's called Mint Condition. Oh, it's fantastic. And since it's sugar, when you get it in your mouth, which you shouldn't, but I do, it tastes pretty good. I like sugar scrubs and salt scrubs. And so I just took care of myself yesterday. I have work to do today. I have video editing to do today, so that'll be good. But that's what I mean. Do something loving for yourself, kind for yourself, compassionate for yourself. Do something that takes care of the divine distributing center that you are. It can be a nap, it can be a spa day, it can be coffee with a friend, because we're there now. We're there now. I don't drink coffee, but you know what I mean. Having a random silly text message conversation with somebody. One of my friends sent me a picture of the moon from China, because he's in China now, right now. He travels for his job, so do something that makes you feel good. And if it sets your soul on fire, that's good too. That's good too. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. That is the state of grace that you live in. That is the state of grace that we live in. So know that. Know that you're loved. Know that you're heard. Even if the only thing listening to you is God. All right. We are going to have an amazing service for you. And I say that because Reverend Jesse is taking the day off. Reverend David is coming in, and he's had 1.5 years to work on this. So it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be interesting. So please join us on Facebook Live for that at 11 a.m. And if you don't catch us at 11, you can always catch it on YouTube later. I will get it up today. Like I said, got video editing work to do. And it'll be amazing and fun and great, and we're looking forward to it. So please join us at 11 a.m. right here on Facebook Live, or catch us on the Creative Life YouTube channel later, Creative Life Spiritual Center. And I am on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel, so just go to YouTube, type it into the search bar, I'll come up. It's this face. Do what you need to do to make it a wonderful day. And while you're doing that, because he talked about it, he mentioned it, because the quote that I like to say is, open the windows of your soul. I got that from Ernest from the other book. So today he says the gates of hell may be open. The gates of heaven, but the windows of heaven will pour out their blessing. That's what I say. Open the windows of your soul and allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. Just because the gates of hell have opened does not mean you have to walk in. All right? You're a beloved child of God. walk past the gate. Climb in the window. Climb in the window. Climb in the window of heaven. All right? They're open. They're absolutely open. Climb in the windows. All right, beloveds. Have a wonderful day. I did not get the face full of sun, and we may not get much sun for the next week because it looks like it's going to rain, but that's good because it'll break the heat that we've been having. But do please drink plenty of water. Take care of yourself. Do something to engage your mind and your body, although if it is your day of rest, please do that. All right, beloveds. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you right here on Facebook Live soon.